Hello. Now today we will be discussing the German paratroopers of World War II, also known as the Fallschirmjägers, a Wehrmacht military formation that would exist from 1935 to 1945. Paratroopers, or the concept of airborne soldiers, was first developed by the Soviets and taken inspiration by Goering, and the Wehrmacht would invest resources and time during early to mid-30s to the development of paratroopers. However, there is something to be pointed out when discussing Fallschirmjäger divisions. The first Fallschirmjäger division was formed in 1942 from the 7th Airborne Division, which was originally created in 1938, but I will be referring them as their later designations. The 1st Fallschirmjäger Division would participate in Fall Gelb, where it captured Fort Eben Emael in Belgium, and also participated in the Battle of Crete during 1941. However, Hitler refused to use any airborne divisions as paratroopers after 1941 due to their high casualties. It would see the rest of the war in Italy. The Second Fallschirmjäger Division was formed in France 1943, sent to Rome the same year to stop the Allied invasion north, was later deployed to Ukraine and then finally France, where most of the division was destroyed in September and reformed in November, where it fought at Arnhem, later to be destroyed at the Ruhr Pocket in 1945. The 3rd and 4th Fallschirmjäger divisions were formed in 1943, the 4th being also made of Italian paratroopers. The 3rd would be destroyed in the Fallais Pocket in August of 1944 and reformed later that year to participate in the Battle of the Bulge, where it would be destroyed in the Ruhr Pocket, while the 4th would only fight in the Italian front to the end of the war. The 5th Fallschirmjäger Division in 1943, France, it would be destroyed in the Fallais Pocket to be reformed in the Netherlands, with the Luftwaffe ground forces fighting in the Ardennes offensive later that year, surrendering at the end of the war. The 6th and 7th being formed in 1944, France, and fighting until their surrender in May 1945. The 8th, 9th, and 10th Divisions were not trained as paratroopers, but as ground forces, made in late 1944 and early 1945 to desperately fill the lines, and when deployed were in no shape for combat. The 8th fought in the Netherlands only to be destroyed in the Ruhr Pocket, and the 9th and 10th fought in the Eastern Front all the way to Berlin. The Fallschirmjägers would have their first airborne operation in World War II in 1940 in Norway, where they held airfields near Stolla and Stavanger, but also suffered their first defeat at Donbass, where they were wiped out. During the invasion of Belgium, the Fallschirmjägers took control of Eben Emael, a strategic fort on the Meuse River, and held it against 1,200 Belgian soldiers. In the Netherlands, 2,000 soldiers of the 1st Fallschirmjäger Division, with 12,000 of the 22nd Air Landing Division, a glider division, where they both captured key bridges at Moerdijk and Dordrecht, the latter bridge causing significant casualties for the Fallschirmjägers. They also helped in capturing airfields at Valkenburg, Ockenburg, and Walhaven and Yppenburg. They did, however, fail in capturing The Hague, and the Dutch refused to capitulate. Many of their gliders would be destroyed due to the incompetency of the Fallschirmjägers, and as a result many of them would be destroyed by artillery and infantry fire, causing significant casualties. But they did, however, successfully disrupt the Dutch front lines. During the Crete campaign in 1941, the Fallschirmjägers would have their last and final paradrop operation, and their most famous paradrop operation, in fact. During the operation, Fallschirmjägers, although inflicted heavy casualties by local resistance and partisans, were able to achieve their major objectives and capture the island. However, there was also a huge number of accidents during this operation. Heavy ground fire heavily affected the operation. Demolition charges were detonated on accident near bridges due to incompetence, causing heavy casualties. And one group airdropped into the ocean and all of them drowned. And worst of all is the massacre at Kadamari, where the paratroopers murdered 30 to 50 Cretans due to anti-partisan action. After this, Hitler refused to use Fallschirmjagers as paratroopers due to their high casualties. Instead, after the campaign, they would be used as elite ground troops and proved effective in this role, similar to what happened to Soviet airborne units. This was Hussein, and thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and check out my other videos.